So Leatherman jumps full bore into production of fixed blades and pocket knives in 2025. What is going on, everybody? I think I'm gonna have to top off my coffee for this video because I was not planning on making this response video today. I was working on folding saws, and then I saw the news, just like you guys, that Leatherman has released 3 fixed blades, 2 pocket knives, and they are USA made, sporting MAGNACUT steel. So right away I was like, what the heck is this? I'm jumped onto the site, start reading the details, and immediately I'm like, we gotta pump the brakes here, Leatherman. What is happening? I have a lot of questions and honestly a lot of concerns for this new series of blades that you're dropping. And so we're gonna kind of unpack that today. Make sure to stay tuned to the end because I'm gonna give you an opportunity to vote on one of these models that I'm going to buy as long as they're still in stock. Once the voting gets in, maybe 24 hours worth of voting. And then we'll test it out here on the channel to see if my opinion changes, because this is just my opinion based off of data and photos I'm seeing online currently. But the first thing right out of the gate when I dug in, because I was like, American-made MAGNACUT, we know what MAGNACUT can do. It is a great all-around steel. If you don't yet own a MAGNACUT blade, if it's properly heat-treated, properly rock-weld, they really do perform well. They have a claimed HRC of 60 to 63. That is a 3-point margin that we rarely see in most blades. That means there's a lot of tolerances, and that means that some blades could come out at 60 HRC, some blades could come out at 63, some at 62, some at 61. Like, that is a massive margin, and a MAGNACUT steel blade in 60 HRC is going to perform completely different than at 63. I own blades in both claimed HRCs, and I can tell a difference. Now, the lower the rockwell, the tougher the blade. So on big, giant blades, sure, like why not? Why wouldn't we want like maybe 60, 62, something like that? On a pocket knife, on a compact fixed blade, why are we going with that low an HRC? I mean, I've always given BENCHMADE a hard time with their 60 to 62, but at least they have like a tighter margin, more likelihood to get like what you're expecting out of their blade. So right away, that to me is too big, and in my opinion, too low an HRC of what is capable. I own multiple TJ Schwartz MAGNACUT blades that are 63 to 64 HRC all day long, perform fantastically well. And most, if you actually look, MAGNACUT blades are gonna start at 62, like my Architects. HRC is 62. Just flat across the board, boom, for that MAGNACUT steel. You look at other blades, Hogue does 62, 64 HRC. Tighter, higher HRCs, better edge retention. So leave a comment below on if you notice that much of a difference, what's your thought on that aspect. Now, outside the MAGNACUT steel, though, what is the value in materials that these blades bring to the table? And that's almost the bigger kicker. And I want to look at the pocket knives first because that's where I actually have even less grace and kind of understanding than on the fixed blade side of these Leatherman blades. So when you click on the Blazer or the Glider folders, we're looking at $300, $300 for USA made MAGNACUT that we're kind of like, okay, well, maybe they are bringing like epic, some sort of new locking mechanism, some sort of new handle material, or like premium handle material. None of those are really true. There's no innovation that I can tell based off of photos and based off of description reading. We're looking at 400 series stainless steel for the handle scales. Boring. No titanium. No, some sort of like denim, like Carta G10 infused, your mom called and it's awesome type of material. Nothing like that. Crazy machining or something. And the locking mechanism is just like some version of a spine lock, or excuse me, a compression lock, like what Spyderco uses, and like what Vosteed has done with their like top liner lock. It's kind of like just one of those things, which is cool, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's nothing mind-blowing, nothing innovative in that. And when we're talking about $300, I mean a full size and ADIRA, these things with the MAGNACUT, I mean, this thing is like 260, I think, for a much larger blade, because those Leathermans, I think, are just about 3 inches, maybe 3.1 blade length. This is 3.9. I mean, this is a way bigger blade. Yes, it's got polymer handles, but 260. It is bonkers when you're saying that a BENCHMADE is a value compared to what you're releasing over at Leatherman. And then if we look at the Kershaw Bel Air 6264 to 64 HRC on this guy. USA made, crossbar lock, so many handle variants now. They got carbon fiber, they got micarta, they got not G10 yet, hopefully, aluminum, all of those things, like 150 bucks all day long. Different blade shapes now, 150 bucks. I can buy 2 of these with a crossbar lock for 1 of these new Leathermans. And again, I'm going to get an overall ideally better performing MAGNACUT. Okay. And then for 300 bucks, I was like, what folders in USA made MAGNACUT do I have? Well, one of them would be like the SOG Seal XR. This is the MAGNACUT version, which is 6264 HRC. Massively thick blade. I mean, like that. There's some cost right there. Titanium liners, 3 polymer handle scales you can interchange. This thing is a monster at like 6 ounces. Huge blade with a crossbar lock, rated for 1,500 pounds, claimed by SOG. 300 bucks. 300 bucks for the same price. I mean, this knife with titanium, huge blade, all the things for the same cost, and it's bringing something to the table unique that I just don't feel like the Glider and the Blazer are bringing to the table based off of what I am currently seeing on the data. Miles may vary if I get one in my hand eventually, but that is my take. Now, if we look at the fixed blades, it's the same story. And I'm a little bit more lenient on the pricing. I just understand like MAGNACUT fixed blades a little bit more. The folders, I'm just like, I can't wrap my head around. And I'm a Leatherman fanboy when it comes to like the Surge, the Wave, and the Charge. I love those. They're some of the best, you know, tools ever. But I feel like right now they're pricing themselves to be, and honestly, as I'm thinking about it, I know they've like sold out of all their custom little like shop stuff that they've done in the past of some fixed blades and folders. And maybe they're thinking that that's going to be for everyone, and maybe it will be, but I feel like that was a bunch of Leatherman fanboys getting excited about a limited run of a custom design. And if they're trying to make these as mass production blades, I think they could be, you know, fighting the current and fighting upstream to try and really compete with the blades that we just talked about. But the 3 models, they have a chef knife, they have the tack, and then I believe they have the Pioneer. The chef knife comes in like 279, so like 280 ballpark last I checked. And then the other 2 models, the tack and the Pioneer, are $300, 300 bucks. The tack is really the only fixed blade that speaks to me. Of the whole lineup, that's really the only one that I'm like, I might want to test that out. You know, American-made leather sheath, it would appear. So, I mean, the quality seems to be there. The Pioneer looks like it fell off the ugly tree and hit every branch going down. I think that's like their survival knife. That does not appeal to me. The blade shape, the style, I'm like, I don't know what was going on there. But when we look at, so I was like, well, okay, well, what are other American-made MAGNACUT blades that are out there in this kind of size range, and like, what can we expect, and how does it stack up? Well, I mean, you look at it like an Architect AK 5.5, right? I mean, this blade is going to be made by White River. HRC is 62 flat, customizable micarta or G10 handles, customizable Kydex or leather sheath, ballpark around 250, and I often have a standing promo code, which will bring it down to like 225, 230 all day. Lifetime, no questions asked warranty, boom, on that model. There's a great option just to like kind of rack our heads with. You look at another one, I mean, good on Gerber, finally getting around to it. The Gerber Strong Arm in MAGNACUT is 160 bucks. 160 bucks when I'm making this video. I mean, USA made. And I saw someone, I think it was in the comments, they were Gerber was like responding that it was 62 to 64 HRC. If that's true, that is awesome. Good on Gerber. They need to state that on their site. I don't think they share that. I mean, even if it was like a low 60 62 like BENCHMADE, that's still at 160 bucks bonkers for American-made MAGNACUT. And then there's like the URSUS 45, well-established American-made fixed blade. Their MAGNACUT versions, 270, you know, for these. You know, all kinds of different blade shape, or excuse me, handle combinations. Excellent Kydex sheath with a fire steel, leather backer, phenomenal. And you know, and there are outliers on the flip side. You know, like Reef Knives F6 in MAGNACUT. It's going to be pushing $400. You know, it's going to be more expensive, but Reef Knives has earned a reputation over the years of fixed blades, and they've had more like high value blades earlier on, and it gradually morphed into some of these more premium models. And sometimes like a design will make sense. You're like, you know what, I'm willing to pay a little bit more to get this wild design or this very, you know, unique design that is speaking to me, a combat, you know, utility knife that also I can use camping, you know, and yes, it's more expensive, but I'm willing to do that. And the brand has proven itself to me over the years with other models. You know, those type of things can happen, but with a brand new launch blade series, I'm like, what was Leatherman thinking to release these blades at these price points? You know, and they've got tooling, they've got price, you know, all this stuff. But I'm like, you guys need to be competing at minimum with, you know, BENCHMADE. It's hilarious when I'm like, a BENCHMADE is a better value. You know, and realistically, they should have been trying to come in probably between KERSHAW and BENCHMADE. Would have been ideal. Start there, get your foundation, get people excited, get your blades into people's hands, and then maybe add titanium handle scales, and we're going to tweak this, you know, and we're going to do that, and then we're going to charge a little bit more, and you tier structure your blades. But at these prices, these designs don't really speak to me, at least personally. The wideness and kind of the HRCs, it's just not quite there for me, but especially with the pocket knives, and less so, but even with the fixed blades with only the tack really speaking to me personally. But again, I want to give you guys an opportunity to vote so we can see one here on the channel to see maybe I'm totally wrong, maybe I'm totally missing it, you know, and these are bangers. So how we're going to do that is go to the Gideonstactical YouTube channel. You know, there's like videos, playlists, and then there's posts. Click on posts. There is a voting poll there. You just vote on which model you would like to see tested here on the channel. I will get one. If it's still in stock, buy it, and we'll test it out here on the channel and find out whether or not it maybe shows me something that I'm missing. Maybe I'm totally missing it. I'm like, wow, this is awesome. We'll find out. So hop on over. It's live now. That voting, we'll do it for 24 hours, and then I'll order it. If you have already bought one of these, tell us why in the comment section. If since release, the last few hours, tell us why you bought whatever model you bought. I don't know. Leave comments below, guys. Can't wait to test out the one that you guys choose. Appreciate you guys. Till next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. See you out there.